Hey guys, as requested, I'm going to review a video by Hamza. It's called Why Men Should Not Show Emotion.
Jeffrey's about to ruin his relationship with Jessica. He's listened to all of the advice telling him to open up and be vulnerable in front of her, and he thinks it's a good idea. Surely this many people couldn't be wrong, and so Jeffrey does the unthinkable. He breaks down in front of her. Life's so hard and I'm so stressed and I just... Please look after me. You wanna know what happens? Jessica, come...
A woman who would care about you, a woman is just another human being, it's not some alien, would of course care about somebody that she loves. If she loves you, she's never gonna break up with you for being vulnerable or for opening yourself up. That's absolutely ridiculous. Jesus.
Comforts him. They were right all along. All you've got to do is be vulnerable and she'll actually like you even more. Yay, our relationship's gonna get better. What? Honey, where are you going? Coincidentally, Jessica just wants to go on a girls' night out now. Their relationship diminishes and gets depolarized, boring, and dead. Adonis is not a toxic man.
Yeah, once again, he shows this character who goes to the gym and is on steroids. And that's what Hamza is obsessed about. Seeing as he's ugly himself, he's focusing on self-improvement and working out. He always also hides his ears, which are very deformed, as you may have seen. In the very few clips which he shows without the hoodie, he's very insecure, in other words.
But he will not burden his wife with his troubles. Now, of course, she is there to support him, but Adonis is a masculine man, and so he will solve those problems himself or with his brothers. His time with his woman is pure, because he treats her more like his daughter rather than his mother. I did a meetup here in Dubai.
You would take care of your daughter and your mother pretty much the same way. You would love and care for both of them. What exactly is the difference there? He doesn't explain anything. He doesn't give any examples, so we're just left to wonder.
Just a couple of days ago, with me and a bunch of guys gathered around in a park to literally just fight each other. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. We literally just put gloves on and just fought each other. It's a great time. It's the second one we've done. It's called Fight Cult. It's every Saturday in Dubai. You can find the details in like community posts, Instagram, whatever. But this time, you know, after the fighting's done, we all just kind of stand around. People ask me questions and take pictures. One of the guys asked me, and he said he thought I was wrong about the fact that I always tell you to not be vulnerable and show bad emotions to your woman. He said he thought I was wrong for this. And then he told me his story where he defied what I said. He opened up, became more vulnerable, and sexual attraction diminished. He started acting feminine. She started acting more masculine, and their relationship.
Yes, if he acted feminine, then that would be off-putting, obviously, because women are attracted to males. Masculinity. A masculine man with high testosterone always shows his emotions. And that's because he's never afraid. If you're afraid to open yourself up, especially to somebody as close to you as your girlfriend or your wife, then you're afraid. And women are gonna feel this fear, which is, of course, off-putting. You keep to yourself. What is the one thing that women always complain about with men like that, who are always afraid? That they should open themselves up. That's exactly what they want. They don't want you to live in fear because of what they may think about you. Come on, everybody understands this naturally. A man who is actually strong and doesn't live in fear is always open. He doesn't care what people think about him. He always shows whatever he feels, his emotions. That's a true man. A true man doesn't keep to himself. That's a low testosterone trait.
Ended. He was confused even to this moment, even after having that experience, asking me why this is happening. And even now, he couldn't truly believe that you shouldn't be vulnerable.
What this seems to boil down to is that if you break down in front of your girlfriend and you start crying about people not appreciating your so-called gains at the gym, you're not earning enough money at your slave job, then she's gonna see you as somebody who is weak, and she's not gonna see you as a real man. And that's because you care about things that only a slave would care about. You start crying over absolute garbage. A man who just lost his mother is gonna cry in front of his girlfriend, and she's gonna care about him. She's gonna take care of him because she cares about him. And it's natural to cry and be absolutely devastated when your mother dies. It's that these slaves cry and break down because they are so full of estrogen about absolute garbage that no man would naturally care about. That's a distinction that isn't made here.
In front of a woman. woman. And you know what I said to him? Of course you don't believe me when I tell you to not show emotions, bad emotions, weakness to your woman, because everyone else...
What are bad emotions exactly? He doesn't name any. There are no bad emotions. Naturally, every emotion that we feel for a reason. None of them make you weak.
Is disagreeing. Every movie, all the news, every dickhead on Twitter, all of your friends, your family, everyone is doing it wrong, and they're telling you to do exactly like them. They're telling you to treat your partner, your wife, your woman, like your buddy, like your male friend. They're telling you to burden her with your troubles when she will consciously...
Of course, you should be able to completely open yourself up to your partner. Hello, how is this not common sense? It is common sense to most people. Very few people think like him, and that's why he has had so many failed relationships.
say that that's really nice. You know, wow, she'll seem happy about it. You want to know
those ears look better than his own ears.
True, unfiltered facts of what will happen when you defy what I preach here and you listen to everyone else. You'll open up in front of your girl and you'll feel awesome. Yeah, look at me, I'm so forward. Yeah, like we're so modern. No. You'll open up in front of your girlfriend. You'll talk about some things, you know, some weaknesses. You'll complain. And she'll hold you and she'll be like, oh, you know, and she'll look like she's happy that you've done this. She will genuinely feel happy that you've opened up to her, and guess what? She will start to fuck you less. And when you do fuck her, she'll enjoy it less. And when it gets extreme, she will think of another man fucking her, because a feminine woman always needs...
Right, because she's not gonna find you physically attractive anymore because you open yourself up. That has never happened in the history of humanity.
Needs a masculine man. When you act in a feminine way by opening up and crying and complaining and asking for her guidance, you discard your masculinity.
Okay, that's different. If you ask for her guidance, then I could understand why she may not find you as masculine anymore, seeing as the man is the one that leads always. Literally, when you go exploring, hunting, then the man is gonna lead. You always know that you can rely on the man. That's important, but it has nothing to do with opening yourself up emotionally.
You know that I've been the biggest mental health advocate of the space for the last few years. I'm the biggest face of like men's mental health, men's self-improvement, right? I've told you how important it is. And I'm going to tell you something that's deeply controversial, and I know for a fact. Maybe you don't believe me just yet. We'll explain that I'm right.
Don't call your beliefs a fact. It makes you look full of yourself.
Yeah. You should bottle up your emotions in front of women. Everyone else is disagreeing. When everyone agrees on some narrative, it usually...
You should never bottle up your feelings, emotions, ever, no matter what the situation is, because that's going to create biochemical trauma inside of your body, which you're eventually gonna let out, possibly on your girlfriend even, which is then gonna, of course, ruin the relationship.
I'm saying bottle them up in front of women. You know what my argument is? Unbottle those emotions and show them to your male best friend. The guy who's so fucking close. I'm not talking about some dickhead friend you've got who slaps you in the back of the head and makes fun of you or something. I'm talking about a close male friend that you can literally open up to. Mine sat right here, bro. I'm literally recording video.
Once you start believing this, you will feel like you can never really open yourself up in front of your girlfriend. You will feel like you need to lie sometimes. It will just get worse and worse.
You just sat there reading. What's up, bro? You need a friend like this. And maybe you don't have one just yet, but you can develop that. This is the kind of person that you can open up to. This is the person that you can literally break down in front of. If a family member of mine died, I wouldn't cry in front of my girlfriend. I'd cry in front of Sam. If I was going through some intense problem, even recently.
Okay, really what he's saying here is that the relationships that he has had with his girlfriends were horrible, that you should not take his advice whatsoever when it comes to relationships. And that's because he's really just proving with his own words that he could never open himself up in front of his past relationships. He never actually found a girl who cared about him. And the reason for that is because they didn't find him attractive. Once you take off the hoodie and everything else, what can I say?
If she is a feminine woman, which you probably do want a woman to be feminine and submissive rather than her to dominate you, you want her to be submissive to you. That means that if she is full of feminine energy, she can only be totally attracted to and in love with a man who displays perfect masculine energy. When you show weakness and emotions and you cry and stuff, you're showing to her that you are not that perfect masculine man, which is...
No, that's exactly the problem. When you hide your feelings, when you don't show what you feel, then you will be seen as a weak man by women. They will sense it right away. You bottle anything up, you don't show your true feelings, you hide something, she sees it. She sees a man who's afraid. She sees a man who cares so incredibly much what other people think about him, to the point where he will try to smile even though he's actually sad. that kind of a man will only be laughed at by women.
Fine for a little bit. Like, it can happen. Sometimes you can complain without realizing. Sometimes you can just cry a little bit because some bad shit's happened. That's fine. But if you start to do this consistently, if you start to act like a little bitch and you bury your head in her breast and ask her, like, oh, you know, she's wiping away the tears, and this happens often, she will lose respect for you. This is seen as evil advice, but it's the true advice.
No, the problem is very simple. As I said, if you cry over small things which nobody should care about, then you will generally show weakness. It doesn't even have anything to do with you crying over it as such. It's just that you're a weak slave who cares about absolute garbage. She doesn't like you because you're a slave. If you actually have a natural reason to cry, be vulnerable, and look for comfort in your girlfriend, then there's no natural or feminine girl on earth who's gonna reject you or find you unattractive because of that. That doesn't exist.
The evil advice is the one telling you to ruin your relationship. Right now, you may disagree. Go and ask any guy who's actually done this, and he'll tell you the exact same thing.
No, you have to ask women what they think about this topic, what they would actually do in this situation. Don't ask men.
Consciously, and in the real world, she was so nice and so happy that he opened up. And slowly and surely, within a month, 2 months, their relationship ended. Conveniently, just coincidentally, maximum 2 months for every guy who ever opens up to his girlfriend. About 2 months later, either the relationship ends or she's cheating on the side. This is...
Oh my god, man. You can clearly tell that he's talking about his own experience. He's weak. He's a slave. He's an absolute loser. He opened himself up and his girlfriend left him because of that. It's very, very clear that he's talking about only his own experience here.
Do you think that old school 1900s man wearing the top hat, do you think he was coming home like, oh, it was really hard, oh, like, oh? Or was he a man with a fucking strong hand grip, 4-digit testosterone, 1000 nanograms per deciliter? And if he did have some problems, he'd probably tell his fellow man, your woman is not your therapist. Say that with me.
No. That's exactly the thing. You have low testosterone, which is why you think this way.
My woman is not my therapist. You don't come to her with your problems. You come to her with your accomplishments, with your happiness, with your gift of masculine direction. You make her feel like a little girl around you. Because remember what I said before. There's a dynamic that you may not have heard before. And a lot of like dickheads hear this and they're like, oh, incest. No. There is 2 dynamics that you can have in a relationship. It's either the father-daughter dynamic, where you are the leader, she is submissive. Or it's the son-mother dynamic, where she's the leader and you are submissive. She's masculine, dominant, you're feminine, submissive. Which one do you want to be? The majority?
Mothers are not masculine and dominant. The father is. Females are always the same, no matter how old they are. Really, hardly anything changes. What is he talking about? Oh, did he grow up with a mother only? Was his mother a single mother? Oh, that would explain actually a lot in general about his mental issues that he's always displaying in his videos. Yeah, that's a big, big problem for a boy. Oh my god. Actually, this is a revelation. A lot of things make sense about Hamza. He grew up with a masculine mother. He had no father, which is why he acts this way. Oh my god. And because, of course, the father left, he has all of these issues with his relationships now. Wow. Wow.
In 2020, 2 years ago, through COVID, I was living with my girl at the time, like, the girl I was dating. I'd been with her for 3 years. And when I tell you, this isn't an exaggeration, right? When I tell you that she saw me as like the ultimate alpha male for years, like fully, she was mine, right? I can give you some examples.
No, absolutely not, because you had no children with her. That already completely disproves what you're saying.
Just so you know, right? She's down to meet me whenever. She helped me start my first business, which was like selling clothes on eBay. I'd be working a job and she would do all of it. There'd be a sale, boom, I send her a screenshot. She packages the piece of clothing in the packages, writes the post-it, the post address, takes it to the post office, pays with her money. I don't even pay her back and sends me the receipt and everything. I had a submissive girl, right? The girl who's totally my friend, who saw me as the alpha. Guess what? I listened to this advice 3 years later, mental health women.
It really sounds more like you had somebody you could abuse. It sounds like an abusive relationship from what I can tell.
Bad COVID times and stuff, right? And I broke down in front of her. I cried. Oh, it was really hard. For the first time ever, her sexual attraction in me diminished. So I know what I'm speaking about firsthand, because when you see a woman who totally...
Yes, because she didn't find you attractive in the first place. That's why you didn't have any children. A girl that finds you attractive is gonna beg to have children with you on the first date. You guys were together for 3 years.
Adored you. When you see a woman who's totally submissive towards you not be like that anymore, that's a soul-crushing experience as a man. But it's a fantastic learning lesson. It happened because I slacked in my duty to be a masculine, stoic man, and I take responsibility. She wasn't a bad person in this. She was the same all throughout. It was that I changed. She saw of me as this perfect guy, this top-tier strong man, and I crumbled in front of her with little tears and like little bits of snot coming out of my nose. Is that what you want, bro? You want your girl, the girl who sees you so highly.
Maybe she did find you strong, but she most certainly didn't find you attractive, face-wise. That's the whole problem.
Literally, it's simple as that. Relationship problems come when you don't act masculine and she doesn't act feminine. When you fuck up and start being vulnerable, emotional, start crying and become feminine, she has to become masculine. Then the relationship just feels kind of disgusting. You feel weird around this girl who's more dominant.
Yes, I agree with that, except that you're promoting feminine behavior.
Than you are. She's more work focused than you are. She's focused on her studies whilst you're texting her thinking, when is she gonna reply? That's not a good feeling. I seem like an evil bastard in this video, don't I? I seem so evil. I seem like I'm spreading some kind of knowledge that is gonna make men suffer, and yet this video is gonna save men from killing themselves. This video is gonna save relationships. To control your emotions in front of a woman, you need to have at least decent mental health. Go watch my full mental health guide.
What you saw here was a man who's had bad experiences in his past relationships, most likely a troubled upbringing, most definitely mommy issues. He's generally had trouble with women all of his life, which is what he's projecting. I wouldn't take any relationship advice from him. Thanks for watching.